Today we're going to be talking about
The American and National League Championship Series are set for baseball and Week 6 of the NFL season.
Please like and subscribe and share the video, and I'm going to give this podcast to my amazing brother.
So here are some takes from the games last week. Just cannot believe how the Giants lost that heartbreaking game to the Panthers in Carolina. Graham Gano kicks the longest field goal of his career, a 63-yard field goal that was good with room to spare. Looked like he could have made it from 70 yards out. Graham Gano, the hero, as the Panthers stunned the Giants with a 33-31 victory. And an unbelievable ending. You cannot possibly expect a kick from that far out to go through, and then when it did, it must have been a feeling of pure joy and elation for the Carolina Panthers. A great kicker can win you a game, and Graham Gano certainly did that with his win, with his kick and the win over the New York Giants. So we have a kicker that won a game for his team, and then we have a kicker who had a bad game, lost the game. Mason Crosby, he missed 5 kicks, including an extra point, and he missed kicks from 38, 41, and 42, and his last miss came 56 yards out, and he missed an extra point as well. But then near the end of the game, where Crosby hit a pretty much it was a meaningless field goal near the end of the game, but that was mainly to get Mason Crosby's confidence back up, and had the worst night a kicker has had in the league since Cole Ford missed 4 field goals and an extra point in a 1997 game for the Raiders. And I don't think there's going to be anybody in Green Bay who seriously says release Mason Crosby. He's one of the best in the league, and he is one of the best in the league. And he's usually money for Green Bay. He's usually automatic. So when he had that long streak of missed field goals in Detroit, it was a surprise to everybody. But I think he'll be all right. He just needs to make his first kick on Sunday, and I think this will be a blip on the radar, an anomaly for Mason Crosby. Kickers are football players too. They have bad games like everybody else, but I think the kicking side is more mental, more draining on kickers mentally than it is other positions on the field. But Mason Crosby, he'll be back to his old self. I am absolutely certain of that, which is good news for the Green Bay Packers, who are not used to looking up at the Chicago Bears in the NFC North. So the League Championship Series is set for baseball. We have the Los Angeles Dodgers making it to their 3rd straight National League Championship Series appearance, as they will play the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Championship Series, and in the American League Championship Series, which should be a very good series. The 2 best teams all year long are set to meet up for the American League pennant, the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros. Game 1 of the NLCS begins on Friday, and it's going to be a great series, a great showdown between the defending world champs. Astros were upset a bit because they didn't get any games in prime time when they played their division series against the Cleveland Indians, and that's definitely going to change now, as the Astros, all of the American League Championship Series games are going to be on in prime time under the lights. So congrats to Houston. You are 7 games away potentially from repeating as World Series champions and are from making it back to the World Series and continuing your quest to repeat as world champions. Milwaukee has had a fantastic run in October so far this year, but I really think the Dodgers are going to keep it going. I think the Dodgers will make it back to the World Series, and I think the Astros will make it back to the World Series as well. They're going to be a rematch of last year, and just like last year, I think Houston is going to repeat, although the American League Championship Series may very well go 7. That Boston team, there's no slouches in that Red Sox lineup. 2 most dangerous hitters in that lineup, J.D. Martinez and Mookie Betts. Martinez hit a 3-run home run Game 1 of the American League Division Series, and that Boston team, they've been looking like the best team in baseball all year. Right there with Houston. Cannot wait for this American League Championship Series to begin. And I think the Dodgers will win in the National League Championship Series. But it's harder to pick a winner in the American League. But it'll be exciting baseball regardless. This is the best part of October baseball. Who's going to play in the World Series? We're about to find out. I love this time of the year. Here are my Week 6 predictions for the... Here are my predictions for Week 6 of the NFL season. Thursday night, we have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. I'm taking the Eagles to get the win. Sunday games, Atlanta at Tampa Bay, picking the Falcons to get the win. Carolina at Washington, picking the Panthers to get the win. Seattle at Oakland, picking the Seahawks to get the win. Indianapolis at the Jets, picking the Jets to get the win. Minnesota at Arizona, picking the Vikings to get the win. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, picking the Cincinnati Bengals to get the win. Chargers at the Browns, I'm picking the Browns in an upset to get the win. Buffalo at Houston, picking Houston to get the win. Chicago at Miami, picking Chicago to get the win. Rams at the Broncos, picking the Rams to get the win. Baltimore at Tennessee, picking Tennessee to get the win. Jacksonville at Dallas, going with the upset, picking Dallas to get the win. San Francisco at Green Bay, picking Green Bay to get the win. And the game everyone's waiting for, Sunday night, Kansas City Chiefs, the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the New England Patriots in Foxborough. And I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the New England Patriots by a final score of 28-24. In the usual football year, that would be called a shootout. But with this Kansas City offense, it's going to be exciting. And New Orleans and Detroit have their bye weeks for Week 6 of the NFL season. So that Sunday night game between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys, I am convinced, was nothing more than Bill O'Brien and Jason Garrett trying to one-up each other in the silly category between the play calls that they were making. I could not understand why the Texans kept having Deshaun Watson stand in the shotgun with the ball at the 1-yard line. Needed 1 yard to get in. You have Deshaun Watson standing in the shotgun at the 1-yard line. 4th and goal. Shotgun formation for the Texans. They ended up going for it in the first half. Watson tried to keep it and go to the end zone, tried to run it in, sneak it in, but he was stopped by the Dallas defense. But the dumbest decision of all was done by Jason Garrett in overtime. Cowboys had the ball 4th down and 1 at midfield at the 50-yard line. They decided to punt instead of trying to be very aggressive and going for it. The punt landed inside the Houston 10-yard line. A long pass to DeAndre Hopkins resulted in the game-winning field goal being kicked, and Houston gets a game, steals a game from Dallas, a game they probably should have lost, and more questions than answers for Dallas, especially after that loss The NFC is just terrible this year. They are absolutely abysmal this year. Somebody's going to have to get on a win streak, or we might have a repeat of the NFC West from 2004 when Seattle won the division with a 7-9 record. It's going to be a bad year for the NFCs. Normally, you could count on the NFCs to be one of the best divisions in football, to have some of the best football in the league. But this year, it looks like 8-8 or 7-9 will be good enough for a first-round bye in the NFL playoffs. And that is craziness.
Thanks for listening to the Power Zone Sports Podcast. Please like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter link will be down below. And we'll see you next time in the next podcast. DJ here, signing off.